Hello, my name is Claudia Sanchez. I am an intuitive healer and I communicate with animals and consciousness, and I also work with people.
Okay. I am Aaron Singleton, medical intuitive and healer, and been doing this for about 30 years. And well, I communicate with people's bodies in a lot of different ways and energy fields, and hopefully help them on their way to a healthier life. And tonight we are going to be sharing our experience in Egypt last year, but we're going to give you a little history because my journey to Egypt goes back a ways, and want to talk about why I keep going back and now why we are going back. And the real thing is to help other people have experiences like we have had, and to go to Egypt and bring back um, whatever downloads of consciousness that can come to you. And but not only that, to start experiencing things to do with Egypt before you even get on the plane to head in that direction. So we hope we can share that and have some eye-opening moments for everyone. And we'd like to thank some of you that were with us in December that are here tonight. And was actually expecting a couple of people that were with me in '06 that are already talking about going back. So we will get started. See who else shows up. And if they don't show up, well, they can watch it later. Oh, excuse me. All right, so um, my interest and everything in Egypt goes back to childhood, but my real experience started back in about 1994 when I started getting these Egyptian downloads and understanding different things about Egypt. It just started to come to me. And one of the first things that came was I was looking at pictures, and you see the big gold bracelets and armbands and things like that on some of the um, statues or pictures in books. So I said, well, I'm going to make my own. So I went and got some copper, fashioned it, and made my own nice big wide copper cuffs. And I found that that copper cuff blocked other people's energy. If I was to put that on and be in a crowded place or a mall, um, it would stop the energy from all those people and the EMF in the building and everything else. It would keep it from coming into my body. The copper on my wrist would actually block it. So I played around with that for quite a bit. Also had the realization that the headdresses of the gods, as we see the solar disk in different places above the head, those were not just decoration. Those all served a purpose. And some of that purpose was recognition that each one of those and the size of them represented different frequencies that they worked with. And so I'm going to demonstrate that for you real quick. We'll get into it much later in when we're doing this series. But for most of you or all of you that feel energy, let's say we have a headdress that had a solar disk about this size with my thumbs and fingers connected. Well, if I put that right here and say that was like a solar disk when you're looking at them, pay attention to where you feel this energy as I project the energy. Now, where do you feel it in your body? Do you feel it in a similar place or somewhere else in the body?
Third eye. Okay. More third eye, more and also in the third eye.
All right. So most of you are feeling it in the third eye. All right. So if we take this disc and we keep it the same size, but we raise it up, I've got my thumbs at my hairline now, or where there used to be hair.
No, you don't have to raise your arms. Aaron's projecting the energy. If you want to raise your arms, you can.
Yeah, just relax. You just need to feel. All right, so when I raise my hands up here, now the interesting thing is for some people in the past, they start to feel the energy like going above their head, even into the upper chakras. And every time I raise my hands up a little bit higher, it will change the energy as far as where you feel it in or around your body. And now I'm going to take and separate my hands, and let's say the disc is this big. All right, quick comment, where do you feel it?
Top of the head.
Yeah, I know.
In my heart.
My heart.
Okay.
And, yeah,
In my head.
thank you.
All right. So you see each placement of the disc in the headdresses of the gods, as we look at it, was a different frequency and was felt differently by people that were, let's say, in front of that deity. And this is what I am presenting and projecting. All right. And then we had Horus. Horus had this big solar disc out behind the back of his head, like this big. So I project the energy from here, like it's a big solar disc. And notice how you feel that. Okay, and what do you feel, or where do you feel it when I project it in this way?
It's all around her, 1% around their head.
Now you guys got to speak up. My arms get tired.
That's okay.
Around
You
my
can-
head.
How does it?
Around my head. But like at first it was interesting, like when it was first happening, it was like I felt kind of like a wave hit my body. Like that was cool.
Oh, that's cool.
All right. So what I learned over time, that I could bring that energy in through the palm of my hand and project it with the other palm facing outward. So as I do this now and send the energy to you. So this is the energy of Ra. Ra was the sun god.
Bless you.
And the sun god's energy came in at different frequencies through the sizes of the different solar discs in the headdresses of the gods. And so then it brought it down to bringing it in through the palm and projecting with the other one. And as I'm projecting it in this way, what do you notice, or how does it feel?
My heart chakra.
Okay, good.
I'm feeling it like both throat and heart.
Okay,
Thank you.
In my heart and in my feet.
okay. So just remember, energy is always going to go where you need it. And so that's why we feel it so differently. All right, so that was kind of my early experience with it in '94. And I did a lot more with it. We don't have time for all of that tonight. But that, kind of really got me interested. And then in 1998, I had my first trip to Egypt. And with that trip, nothing really eventful on the trip itself. But when we came back from that trip, started the downloads of information, started blending essential oils for healing, built a net neutral ion generator that takes the ions that we breathe, the positive and negative ions in the air, and projects those into brass and into crystals and things for all different types of healing and meditation or whatever. And so that was like my big experience with Egypt on that one. Then going back in '06, it was the download of and the realization that the artwork around at the museum and what was carved into the walls or painted on the walls in the temples or in the tombs in the Valley of the Kings if you actually looked at those and put yourself in the position that they were in, you could do healing or basic things like balancing your chakras and things. So let's say, I think it was about 35 different hand positions that I, sketched real quick because they wouldn't let me I had a big 35 mm camera and they thought that I was going to be, taking pictures and selling them. So they wouldn't let me use it in the Valley of the Kings and some of the other places. So, but I had hand positions for opening your heart, for balancing your chakras, for receiving blessings, for giving back to the earth and things of that nature. And so that was exciting to get all of that on that 06 trip. In 08, that trip was just a blur. I don't even remember all the stuff. There was so much information that came in. And then in 09, so 06, let's see, in 98, we took 18 people. And 06, we took 36 people. And the 08 trip was just kind of a tag along on a tour, did our own thing. And then in 09, it was, 16 of us. And so the 09 trip, when came back from that, I started drawing the biomorphic geometry designs, working with numbers and all different types of frequencies along that way. And that really took off, and I created all of the biomorphic geometry that's on the website, as well as a lot that hasn't made it to the website. And then, of course, just last year, 2024, so 15 years later, from 09 to 2024, finally got my Ankh made that I set by the pool in Cairo and designed in the 06 trip. I don't have it on, but some of you have seen it, and Claudia has hers.
Like a little, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's pretty cool.
And on this trip, we had 17 people, and I would say one of the most memorable things was Claudia coming down the steps at the Sphinx and starting to sing. And what we later tuned into was Lemurian, and it was kind of a welcoming, because we had as we sat with it later, we realized that the Sphinx was a lot older, and the Lemurians had a lot to do with the building, or actually were the builders of the Sphinx. And then at the Temple of the Hathors in Dendera is when the Egyptologist said, this is the only temple in all of Egypt that has this granite near the base of the pillars. So it's limestone for the first few feet up, and then there was 1.5 feet or so of granite, might have been 2 feet, I don't recall. And then the rest of the pillar, 60, 80 foot to the top, whatever it is, and the massive weight of the ceiling was compressing this layer of granite. Now, anytime you put granite, which is 40 to 60% quartz in most cases, anytime you compress it, you actually create piezoelectric energy. So with all of the pillars throughout this is a really big temple. So all of these pillars have a layer of granite, and then all of that weight is on it. So it means that that whole place is resonating with piezoelectric energy. So we came back from that and started creating piezoelectric energy, because I get obsessed sometimes and I have to just sit with it until I can do it. So we did it. And so we have piezoelectric energy generators here at the house, at the office, and we ourselves can generate the energy now, because we've taken it in through consciousness and made it a part of us. And so that was really fascinating that they were making piezoelectric energy. We tuned into it, and it will heal like 98% of all cancers, as well as a ton of other things. So that is really something that, 4,500 years ago, or whenever that was, that they were able to do this. And we figured that the priest at that time had a way of modulating the frequencies so that they could use that temple for different purposes. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. And that's why, it's like people say, why do you go back to the same place? And it's like, well, it's never exactly the same place because the energy that we are experiencing is different each time. And what we journal, what we bring back with us is different each time. But it's also a big part of it is, we said, oh, this will be our only trip. And we came back, and it wasn't long after we got back in December that Spirit said, oh, okay, you guys are going back in 2 years. And so some of that, of course, is to take people like yourselves so that we can help you receive downloads and bring back some great stuff. And we don't know what we're going to get now because we already got this Paizo, which is fantastic, along with everything else. But
Should we share the place?
yeah, so we would like to, Claudia's just mentioning we should share Paizo with you. So let's do that. We will send piezoelectric energy to you right now. So piezoelectric energy is like being in an energy field, resonating with, it's kind of well, let's just experience it and you can kind of describe it in your own way. So as we're sending the energy, you might feel it first on your skin, and then you might feel it penetrating. What we find is 15 minutes of piezoelectric is about equal to an hour's massage for most people.
15 or 45. Is it 15 or 45?
Hmm.
15.
15.
15.
Yeah, so 15 minutes is about equal to an hour's massage. The way it affects and relaxes the body. But it works on every bone and muscle and organ and everything, glands throughout the body. All right. Can everyone feel that?
1, 2, 3. Let everyone. Okay, I've got everyone. Okay, cool. Awesome.
Good. Everyone can feel it. All right. So one of the things that we have been really looking into, of course, in all aspects of things, is all the different ways that we can use energy to help people heal. And we feel this is a really something that is going to, if we can get it out there to people, it's going to be something. We don't get it out to as many people as we can. Okay, so we're just going to give you another minute or two of Paizo. So what does it feel like? Someone care to comment what it feels like in their bodies?
I feel it. It's like in my hands, my legs, my back. I feel this like it's like my body's buzzing. It's like a just like vibrating all over, just within. It's like in my muscles. It feels like just within, like.
Love
Okay.
that. Thank you.
Yeah. And it tends to go where you need it, as far as the muscles, where you have the most muscle tension. So we look for those muscles to start relaxing. Great. Thank you, Addison. Someone else?
It felt cool. I felt cool on me. My
Okay.
arms. That's all I can say about that.
Very cool.
Okay.
Thank
Cool.
you. Thank you, Tick. Vicky, you were going to say something?
I feel the same buzz that Addison was talking about, but like at the same time, it just like I just feel calm, like
Right.
super calm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mhm.
I would agree with Vicky. It was more of a natural feeling, calm, like a calming effect for me.
Okay,
Nice. Thank you.
I don't know if it was like tingly, but it's like vibrational almost, like in my head. I don't know if I'm too stressed in my head, but
That's good. That's great.
well, I mean, if you're in your head a lot, you think, think, overthink, worry, or whatever, then it's gonna go there because it needs to calm your brain down.
yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you, Amber. That's great.
All right. So what we want to do over the next year and a half is, we want to do this every other month. And every other month, we want to bring something different as like part of the journey. So we're looking at, let's say, taking you energetically to between the paws of the Sphinx, inside the Great Pyramid, spending more time at Dendera, taking you to the statue of Sekhmet and that frequency, as well as other things and other temples, or to the Holy of Holies at the Temple of Isis. And we will be, of course, this is in preparation for the trip. So some of you will start having downloads of information. Well, some of you will start tonight, maybe, because as soon as you make that commitment within yourself that you're going, Egypt starts talking to you. And this has happened on every trip that we've been on, that people start getting information long before you get on the plane, because Egypt has already said, okay, you're coming. I'm going to give you a little help. So that's always an exciting piece. We had that happen last year, and it was like, wait a minute, I'm dreaming about Egypt. I'm on the Nile. I'm in the temple, and we still got 3 months before we go. But we had made the commitment.
Well, there's a friend of mine who was on the fence and she kept on seeing like a license plate that said Egypt. She started seeing all kinds of odd signs, and she ended up going because she figured Egypt was talking to her and was saying, okay, well, it's blessed. Should we talk to Egypt?
Sounds a good time. So having said that about Egypt talking to us, Claudia is going to do a little channeling right now and bring Egypt in and see if Egypt has a message for all of us.
Hmm. Okay, so just do a quick check. Grounding.
Grounding, polarity, brain bio, all good. Deals, align, the holes, everything good.
Okay. I am Claudia, bringer of God's love and light. I am one with the Creator. I am. I am the love that I am. By my will, I hold the intention to speak to the frequency of Egypt, blessed by God. Hello, children. Make sure this is Egypt.
This is Egypt.
Welcome. I'm going to take a moment and wait till Claudia relaxes. She's feeling a little anxious. Relax, Claudia. Good. Egypt, are you there? Yes, child, I'm here, but you are still in flutter. Your energy is still fluttering. Oh, okay. Aaron's gonna help me ground here. There you go. Good. Better? Yes, child.
Mhm.
Much better. Welcome, children. All of you that are here right now have all been in the past to Egypt in some way or other. Whether it was Egypt or whether it was Kemp, right before Egypt, which was called Kemp. If you are here, it is because there is something within you that remembers the old ways, meaning Egypt. There are other civilizations that you have been a part of, also known as Atlantis, Lemuria, Mu, and there were others before Mu. You have all had very specific abilities. Is this Egypt?
Mhm.
And it is time for people to remember not only the old ways, but who you really are. Over the period of thousands of years, humanity has forgotten who they really were. Back in the days, people had the ability to do astounding things, things that cannot be understood with today's science. And that includes stones, pyramids, all sorts of magnificent structures that were built, and how. And the technology they are now beginning in science to find that back then there were technology that were far more advanced than today. So if you are being drawn to going to Egypt or going back to Egypt, it is because Egypt is not done with you. Because there are still things for you to remember, to download, to experience. The energy, the frequency in Egypt is quite powerful. There is a healing energy. There is frequencies for people to open up their heart, to remember. Still there? Yes, child.
Mhm.
I'm just taking a moment. There will be some that might feel afraid, as the one that I am speaking through. She did not want to go. She had tremendous amounts of fear, both from past lives, but also from her own fear from her childhood. And I tell you this because if you who are either watching later on the YouTube or some other form, to know that that can be healed. If you are attracted but extremely afraid of going to Egypt, there is something to be healed. All I ask is for you to be open to the potential of a journey, whether it is with Aaron and Claudia or at some other point in your life to visit. Mm. So when you have the intention to allow Egypt, the frequency that is blessed by God, to come through and to teach you, you don't necessarily need to go to Egypt, but it does enhance your frequency. This is why when people come back, but people who have gone with the intention to really feel the energy, they come back with all kinds of awakenings, whether it is to heal yourself, whether it is to create, in however form it is to create. So go within and see if this is something for you, or if this is something for you, you are attracted because there is something that you need to heal that has not yet been healed. And if you cannot make the trip, remember that these videos will still have some type of healing in some format. So you will be touched in some way. I send love to all of you, those watching now and within the future. Thank you, children.
Hey, thank you, Claudia,
You're welcome.
and thank you, Egypt. So what we'd like to do right now is really introduce you to Egypt. Egypt is a land and people that are really heart-centered. And you will see or have shop owners or others that will meet or greet you, putting their hand over their heart or thanking you, or from their heart. And then some will say, my heart thanks you. And so we'd like to bring you into that place of the heart of Egypt. So I'm going to do that by having you put your right hand over your heart, put your left hand over your left thigh, just about at and a little above the knee. So just lay it right on your thigh. And everyone together, I'm going to say, I remember Egypt. Okay, so everyone together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I
Remember Egypt.
Again.
I
I
remember.
remember Egypt.
And again.
I
I remember.
Remember Egypt.
All right, keep your hands in that position. We're going to bring the frequency of Egypt in even stronger. All right, you can let your hands relax. So how does Egypt feel? Can you feel Egypt in your heart?
Addison does. He's like, Addison, I can't hear you, Addison. Sorry.
Yes, I do. I feel it in my heart, and I feel also in my arms, my legs, just kind of a really comforting feeling.
Nice. Thank you, Addison.
And we look forward to hearing what Egypt brings to you between now and our next meeting. So what dreams, what downloads, some of you will start journaling already because Egypt will be talking to you and preparing you for the trip. But some of you will actually maybe even start remembering, as we say, remembering the old ways. That was one of the ways it came to me back in about 94, 95 was a very strong resonance through my whole body. My voice was shaking as I said it. It was like, remember the old ways. And it was all about remembering who I am, who I was, and the ways of the past. And that has shown up in my healing abilities and my intuition. And so we look forward to helping you remember the old ways of who you were, what you did. Again, in Egypt as we know it historically, but even beyond that, into what we now know as Kemp. But also some of you will go back even farther. You'll go back to Atlantis and Lemuria. And it will be interesting to see how your journey plays out. How is everyone feeling?
Good. Is anyone feeling uncomfortable with this energy at all? No? Okay.
It was a little bit shocking to me when Egypt first came through and was talking about how we've been there, and you were talking about Egypt calling you. I just started crying for like obviously there's a reason, but it just came out of nowhere. So I truly feel like it's meant to be. I saw this email and said, wow, this looks amazing. And now I want to go. I
Wow.
want to find out what's it about, So it feels really good,
That's great. Thank
despite
you.
the crying.
Oh, let it go. That's great. No, it's really beautiful. It's interesting because it's different for everyone. Everyone has a different experience. Some people are attracted to one area over another. And like Egypt had said, I was terrified. I didn't want to go. Every time Aaron's like, you need to go. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And so I went with an open heart, but I was terrified. And when I got there, I was like, what was I so scared about? It was great. And it was the first time I could actually hear my heart. So I had been, giving messages over the years for loved ones while working at a retail, and I could hear them, but it was the first time I was actually able to hear my heart, and I was talking to my heart. My heart would tell me how to shop. It would say, nope, go into that store. And it would tell me exactly what I was like, what's going on? And it was picking up on the frequency of certain items. So that's how my heart has been guiding me now. The energy there is the people are not, how can I say, they haven't been blocked the way we have been here and in other countries. So they tend to be more open and feeling their energy. So they can actually feel, they can sense you, right? And so that's what started happening to me. And it was amazing. And I brought that back. I can feel a little bit that the frequency was different when we came back. We also noticed that things like electromagnetic frequencies, like phones, were not affecting us because I'm really sensitive and I could feel cell towers and all kinds of satellites and things like that. And it didn't bother me. So the frequency is so high there that it literally blocks from people actually being affected in that way. So that it was really incredible. And of course, there's more to say. This is just the beginning. But I love that you felt that and that you really it's your heart that's listening, and it's your heart that knows and knows the truth. So, and that would be fun for you to go into meditation or just quiet time and talk to your heart and see what your heart wants to tell you. All
Yeah.
of it, you know? So something to think about.
Yeah, so we actually went out shopping one evening and we walked into a little shop and the shop owner, he was there by himself and he says, I knew you were coming. You know, he felt our presence before we ever made the corner to go into his shop. And I can't remember whether we bought one or it would, well, I know we bought something from him and he said, I have something special. And he went down in a little case and he brought out a piece of jewelry that was just buzzing with energy. And of course, it was meant for Claudia. And so he, you know, he's not the only one. Many of the people there that are really in tune, they know, okay, I have some special pieces here. Someone will come. And he just knew that this piece was meant for her. And it was.
And he had a piece also, Bestie, little statue.
Yeah. And I was in the alabaster shop and had the same thing happen, that the guy had a little.
Show right here,
Okay.
so you could see it.
Had this little statue. And he said, he went into a case and he got it out and he gifted it to me. And has fantastic energy. So you can actually use that frequency coming off the statue for meditation. So yeah, so some fantastic, you know, things like that have happened. Now we have a few people on here that were on the trip in December. So is there anything that any of you would like to share that, you know, kind of like that, what type of experience did you have at any particular place?
I just want to share something about the one of the essential oils that we purchased there. We gifted Dr. Michelle Peel a couple of the essential oils, and the alabaster oil. When she held that, she says, "Oh my gosh!" So she made a reagent out of the gift that we gave her. So now she can broadcast alabaster oil to everyone. So
Oh, it's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
There were so many amazing, wonderful things that happened to me. I picked up so much wonderful energy, and I brought it back with me. And something that really sticks out in my mind was whenever we saw Sekhmet, and I just, before we even went into the area, it was like as we were going in, as we were waiting, I was starting just to bawl. I was just like tears of just, but it was like joy. It was joy, and it was like I could feel her love, and I could feel that she knew I was there and that I was about to come in. And there was a man there. I can't remember what his Claudia, you told me he was like maybe like a priest or something, someone who could be around Sekhmet, right? Like this man, and he noticed this with me, and he took me in this little room next to where we were, and he wanted me to stand in this spot, and he did this really cool thing with me. he did this thing. I've tried to show people, and all of a sudden I felt this surge of energy, and he left the room, and I just got to feel it for a moment. I went out, and he gave me some tissues. Like this man, he knew that I was going through something amazing, and he was helping me in the process. And we just had so many wonderful. Like I loved how like a grown man in a village just blew me a kiss, and another man at one of the hotels, he said, "You have a beautiful smile." Like it, yes, the heart center of the people there. It just, I went back to the South. I was like, Southern hospitality ain't nothing compared to Egyptian hospitality. So I mean, it was a remarkable experience. So truly amazing. So.
Oh, thank you, Addison.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about segment, but
No, so it's later.
Okay.
Anything else that we said we were going to talk about today?
um,
All right, anyone else?
Aaron, um, my partner Beatrice is over next to me. She's in the shadows here. She doesn't want to be online. She said she was, when you were doing the Egypt, that she ended up getting a real uncomfortable pain in her third eye and in this area of her head. I was just wondering if that's something that was from there.
Okay, so that was actually energy that was trying to help open her third eye even more and move some blockage out of there.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
she was trying to heal. She was trying to heal.
Yep.
Thank you.
So when I do, I noticed this is something new to me that I've realized is when I do classes or talks and I channel Egypt or other frequencies that are also healing, they tend to use, through me, they start to heal people in the area, whatever they need for the highest good. So um, so that will be common during these videos, whether I'm channeling or whether it's just you're just watching it. There will be some type of healing, but nothing to throw you overboard. Just something that you might need for your highest good.
Yeah. So that is one thing too, that anyone that you share, this video with, I mean, it's going to be on YouTube so everyone can access it. But if you tell someone about it, when they watch it, they will receive the same energy just as you are receiving it live. So that is something that, let's say that I've been aware of for quite some time because I've done a lot of videos, and people that are watching the videos are, amazed that if I am adjusting spines or whatever, their spine gets adjusted even though they're watching the video, weeks or months later. So, and with the trip to Egypt, Claudia has, like solidified that frequency into her body. So everything that she is doing energetically as well will be felt and experienced in the body. So the piezoelectric that we sent out, the Egypt energy that we sent out, everyone will be able to experience that when they're watching this. So that'll make it special for everybody. So
Now it is good to do some letting go. So if you're holding on to sadness, fear, guilt, anger, Aaron's got great YouTube videos to work through as a meditation, 20 minutes, where he uses Tibetan bowls, and it helps you to let go. What tends to happen is if you're holding on to a lot of emotional energy that is sort of, that not sort of, but that is pent up and has been blocking you, the frequency in Egypt will push that out. The light is so high that it'll push that out, and people will. Those of you who've gone might have experienced some discomfort, thinking it might have been, some type of revenge of some type, but it was actually emotions releasing. So that happened to me towards the end. I think quite a few people in our group, despite how much energy releasing they did. But it's an opportunity to release, to let go, even though it might be a little uncomfortable, but you're in the support of us where we can guide you and explain to you what's happening. So if you are having a lot of sadness that's being released and you have, some diarrhea, or if you're throwing up or something like this, we can actually nip it in the bud and we can say, okay, this is how we're going to let go of that emotion. So we help you let go of it. And usually it's within a day you would feel better. So, but knowing that, it is good to try to do some work to go forward. We also do group healings. We also have a live, doing this new live group healing where it's once a month and you can ask questions, but we will do healing for everyone simultaneously. But sometimes there'll be someone who needs some specific healing that we'll send. So that's a good opportunity to see, okay, well, what's going on? What is it that I need to work on? And we will, and Erin and I will tune in quickly to be like, okay, well, you have to, there's this age, there's something went on that you took on your mother's emotions at this age or your father's, and you got to work on this. So that way you are doing the work, and you have the videos. You can also do a session with us, but we do have other opportunities for you online for you to do it on your own, including the energy of life healing process. The energy of life healing process, that is something that we haven't spoken about, but I don't know if
We
that,
will.
but we will in the next videos. But that is on there, and you can look that up, so that you can flow the energy through, and you can start or continue your healing with more ease with the energy of life healing process.
Yeah, so all of the healing that you can do prior to the trip will be to your benefit, because when you are there, as Claudia just mentioned, Egypt will make an effort to push that on through and out, and sometimes it can be quite uncomfortable. So yes, so we will be able to help you in advance as well as help you when you get there with that.
But it is important because as you start releasing this, the things that it is blocking can be truly some remarkable intuition and abilities that you didn't even know that you had. Because back in the days, they were able to move things with their minds, and at this time, they've been slowly trying. Spirit has slowly been trying to explain to me how that was done through becoming one with the item. They have been guiding me. I don't do it all the time because I'm working on other releases, but it is possible to have that ability in this life, to be able to move things with your mind. But first, what's important is that you need to do the work. And that is to remove all the things that are blocking you from your heart, from your mind, all that chatter that goes on, that's not normal. And I have gone through periods where it's been completely silent. And that is what should be normal, for you to be able to dictate what is in your mind, not to allow these emotions or other frequencies to occupy your sacred body. Okay, Ruth just kind of came in. Hi, Ruth.
Hello, Ruth. All right, what time are we at?
It's 7:57.
All right. So
I'm sorry, I was thinking it was 8 o'clock like the other meetings, so
now
anyway, I'm here now.
all
Well,
right. So one of the things that we were just talking about becoming one with things is Claudia was mentioning about levitating stone and things of that nature, is when we are one with the energy, this is how we are able to send piezoelectric energy, the energy of Egypt, and other things. So we have to take it on, if you will, or become part of it. So it's not something out there. It is something in here that is a part of us. And so that is one of the things that over the years has become I mean, like second nature, just whatever it is, just become one with it. So we can demonstrate that real quick with the energy of a garnet. Okay. Now, garnet is a stone that has muscle relaxing properties, and we don't have any garnets. But if we become one with the garnet, in other words, it's like we are the garnet and we radiate the frequency of the garnet to you, and we'll do that right now.
How's to speak to it? Yes.
No need.
No. Okay.
Only one time.
All right.
All right, so we radiate the frequency of the garnet to you.
Yes.
But where do you feel the energy of the garnet going in your body? What muscles are being affected? What areas? Or if you don't know the muscles, what area of your body? Your back, your hips, your shoulders, neck. What is starting to relax with the frequency and energy of the garnet?
My legs, my feet, and my nose.
Got some tight muscles in your nose.
I guess so.
It's funny. Thank you guys.
It was in my hips.
And your
Okay.
hips, got some tight hips. Oh, good. Thank you, Dorothy.
I brought the energy in through my hands, and I can feel it going up into my my head and stuff like that. Felt almost like a light bulb. Like I was radiating like a light bulb.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you, Tick.
For me, it was my shoulders.
Okay. Good.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good. Good to get those drop back down to a normal position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we are one with all that is, so to speak, and we can generate the frequency of any crystal, of any temple. So if and you'll be experiencing that over the next few months about how we can be one with the temple in Egypt and bring that frequency into your home, and the room that you are in will resonate with the frequency of the Holy of Holies, let's say of the Temple of Isis. And you can actually get up out of your chair and walk outside to the hall or into the next room, whichever it is, and you can feel the difference. And then you can step back into the room and it's like, wow, that is really, really, really different. So it's a lot of fun to play with, even though it's, not just play, it's remembering who we are and what we're capable of. And that is what we want to bring to you when you come to Egypt.
And I just want to introduce, for those of you who don't know, Ruth Schilling. She is the host, and she has hosted these like over 70 of these. So she,
Over 70 tours to
70
Egypt.
tours to Egypt. So she knows the ins and outs, and she's got the connections and all that good stuff. I give the floor to Ruth. Hi, Ruth.
Hi there. I'm taking off in a couple days here, so I'll be in Egypt on Sunday. So, Egypt is in my mind completely here, getting my suitcases packed and everything. What would you like me to share about?
Well, we've done the general sharing about the trip and, the overview of what we'll be doing over the next, uh, basically year and a half as we do these every other month. And then as we get closer, we will be having meetings monthly over the last, let's say, 6 months before we go. Um, but maybe just something about your calling. What called you to Egypt?
Oh, well, I can tell that one. It's a good one. Um, it happened. I wasn't really that interested in Egypt, to tell you the truth. And I was actually at Lilydale, if any of you all know that. It's a spiritualist community in Western New York. And we were sitting around the Maplewood lounge, the lounge there in the hotel. And everybody had been to Egypt and they all started talking about it. And it was like, boop, somebody just flipped a switch, and I just felt like I have to go. I have to go. I mean, and I didn't, I was a healer, workshop leader, musician, that kind of stuff. I didn't have an extra $4,000 to go to Egypt, but as it turned out, the money just materialized. That's a whole nother story. You don't need to hear that one. I'd be glad to share it at another time. And sure enough, I went. I went with the ARE the first time, the Edgar Casey people, John Van Auken, and then I went back. I mean, I was about to leave, and I thought I have to come back. So the second trip, I went with the Noetic Sciences and John Anthony West that did the stuff about the Sphinx and stuff. And on that tour, it was only 12 people, very small group. And when I went with the ARE, I thought we were going to like get to meditate in the temples and all this kind of stuff. And it was a huge group. It was like 70 something people. And we were walking the whole time. And when we went to the Luxor temple, we were only there for like 20 minutes. And I wanted to be there, and have real time. So when I went the second time with John West, I asked about, how soon does the temple open? Can I go like first thing in the morning? They said, sure enough. They said, the Egyptologist said, it actually opens at 6 in the morning, but we're not going to start the tour until 8. But if you want to go, you can just go buy a ticket and go in, you know? So there was one other person on the tour, and he and I went at 6 a.m. And we went into the Holy of Holies, and we sat down there, and I tuned in, and the spirits of the place came to me, and they said, it was like your mission, should you choose to accept it. And they said, bring the people that we can work with them directly. You see, the way it was is that on a regular tour, people are, they're in and out, right? But with the metaphysical tours, they have what they called the talking heads, where there were people leading, like I went with Deepak Chopra and Wayne Dyer the third time. And so there are people who have something to share, and they're just using Egypt as like a backdrop for that. But nobody's listening to Egypt. Yeah? So the spirits of the place wanted to be able to actually, commune with the people who were coming, who were open to that. They gave me the whole itinerary and everything. So I was like, wow, this was in 1998. Well, the next day, the Egyptologist and the tour operator that were running that tour, the one with John West, they called me into their hotel room and they said, you know, we've been talking, and we think you should be leading your own tours because you get it. You understand Egypt. You know what it is. So you see, first I got it from the spirit realm, and then I got it from the physical people who lived there. So I said, okay, you know. So at that time I was you know, a spiritual teacher or whatever. I was flying around different places around the US and Canada giving these workshops and stuff. This is before we had the internet, really. And so I had a whole mailing list of people that had worked with me in different workshops and things. So that was how it started. I sent out you know, it wasn't an email. We didn't have email then, really. So I sent out you know, a flyer, and the first tour was in November of 1999, and that's how it started. So,
So cool.
and since that time, those spirits have been my teachers for what, more than 25 years now.
Okay.
That's
So
good.
that's the background. And you know, it's different. I mean, of course, now, I mean, that was a specific thing for people to listen. Now things are a little more difficult because they have new laws where we're not allowed to meditate in the temples and stuff. But you know what? Listen, I haven't told Aaron and Claudia this yet, but I had an idea just maybe 5 days ago about how we could get around this. And that is, I'm going to try it with my November tour that's coming up. And I'm even going to do it when I go this time. Is we'll have little notebooks. And if we sit down with our notebooks, we'll say, well, this is like a writing tour. These people they're all, you know, learning to write. It's a creative writing tour. And and then what we could do is just let people sit and then write whatever you get. You see? And then we're not meditating, but people would be listening to the spirits of the place, which is what they want.
I love
So
it.
that's my new idea, what we could do. You know, if we're holding something, and then maybe you have to close your eyes to think what you want to write next, you know. So enough, there's no law saying people are not allowed to sit and write in the temples, okay?
That's great. I love it.
Yeah. Do you think it's a good idea? What do you think, Claudia?
I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna try it. By the time you guys come, like in another year and a half, I'll have it all perfected. They'll know I'll tell them all. You know, when I went with John West, the Abydos was not open, and so the guy who was arranging, he told them we were foreign journalists. And so we all had to go with our little notepads, pretend we were going to do travel articles or something, you know. That's Egypt. You got to work around, you know. But anyway, I just got that idea when I was thinking about, you know, and then plus it'll be good for all of us because you get these things while you're there. But because at least for me, and I know for many others, when you get a new insight that is like right on the edge of your comprehension, if you don't reinforce it somehow by writing it or something, you can just lose it. It's like when people have a dream and they remember it, but then 2 hours later, they can't remember the dream, right? So it's that same idea when we're in the temples. If we start writing, jotting things down, then we have that as something to jog, you know?
Yep.
No, I think that'll work because I felt a little uncomfortable. Like sometimes, you know, I'd be talking and they'd be staring at me, you know, thinking that I was, and I could see how having something in my hand and kind of talking that they would not really think anything of it.
Right, right. Yeah, because, you know, we're writing, that's different. You know?
Writing, you can be sketching, whatever, yes.
Yeah, sure. You could, and yeah, especially for you, Aaron, because you know you've gotten your downloads of different, like the Ankh thing and all these different things you've gotten while you were there. So, you know, that can be part of what we give everybody is those like a notebook, that they can fit in their knapsack or whatever.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, 8:15.
All right. All right. Well, we are going to wrap up. Thank you so much, Ruth.
Yep, thank
That
you.
is, and we wish you a warm summer in Egypt.
Oh,
We're gonna go at 6 a.m. and then have breakfast when we get back. We'll see how that works out.
Yes, it's
So,
gonna be.
wow.
yeah.
That's fun.
I think I'd shoot for about 4:30 in the morning.
Well, the site's open at 6, so you know,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, bon voyage. Have fun.
Thank
right.
you. I'll think of you guys while I'm there. I mean, yeah, you know, whenever I do a tour and I'll be in a particular place and I'll suddenly connect with one of you, you know, that has been with me. So, you know, there are these little the airways, you know, the psychic airways are up and running. So,
How long will you be there, Ruth?
just a little under 2 weeks this time. This is just to test out this solar eclipse tour. So,
Okay. Very cool.
Okay.
All right, folks.
All right. So
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank all of you for joining us this evening. We look forward to doing this again. And like I said, we'll be doing different things. We'll be bringing in the frequency of the pyramid, the Sphinx, and all kind of different things coming up. And we'll be having some fun because that's what it's all about.
All right, folks. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.